It is 7:02 on February 9th, 2021, and we are going to open the regular board meeting. Will you do roll call, please?
Yep. Trustees Chris Samples,
Here.
John Talbot,
Here.
William Luxinger is absent. Dina Simpson is absent. Jen Christensen,
Here.
Jared Doan,
Here.
President Rick Worm,
Here.
Treasurer Brenda Onabany,
Here.
Clerk Sandy Mazem here, Attorney David Silverman,
Here.
and Public Works Supervisor Brett Fergie.
Here.
All right, will you please stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item of the agenda is the items on the consent agenda. Will you read them off, please?
Yep. Tonight for approval on the consent agenda is item number 1, the January 5th, 2021 Committee of Committee Minutes. Item number 2, the January 12th, 2021 Regular Board Meeting Minutes. Item number 3 is the Bills Payable Warrant List dated February 9th, 2021. Number 4 is Resolution Number 20-04, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of 2021 Outdoor Warning Siren System Annual Maintenance Contract with Fulton Siren Services. And number 5 is Resolution Number 20-05, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of a service order agreement between the Village of Davis Junction and Illinois Fiber Resource Group.
At this time, do any of the board members wish to remove anything from the consent agenda for further discussion for any item? Not hearing her, we'll entertain the first motion.
I move to place agenda items 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 inclusively as consent agenda items. Further, I move that all items be considered together as the consent agenda.
Second.
Jen makes a motion to include items 1 through 5 inclusively as the consent agenda. Jared seconds. Roll call, please.
Jen,
Yes.
Jared,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Dina is absent, Chris,
Yes.
and William is absent.
Motion passes 7:06. Second motion.
I move to adopt items 1 through 5 inclusively on the consent agenda in a single group pursuant to the omnibus vote procedure specified in the Illinois Municipal Code.
Second.
Jen makes a motion to adopt items 1 through 5 inclusively as the consent agenda. Jared seconds. Again, roll call, please.
Jared,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Dina is absent, Chris,
Yes.
William is absent, Jen.
Yes.
Motion passes at 7:07. We do not need item C, which is to discuss any further items that were removed. Move on to the officers, and under me, we have the utility bill drawing. David here, we need Chris reach in and grab one, please.
There you go.
You picked you.
No, I don't put mine in there.
101 North Maple. It's in the side of the box as usual.
Perfect. William has joined us remotely, but he'll need a motion.
I'll make a motion to allow William Luxinger to participate remotely due to work.
Second.
Jen makes a motion to allow William Luxinger to attend remotely due to work. John seconds. Is there any discussion? A roll call, please.
John,
Yes.
Dina's absent, Chris,
Present.
William is absent, Jen,
Yes.
Jared.
Yes.
William is in attendance at 7:08 if you call him.
William,
I'm here, thank you.
All right. We'll move on. Sandy,
I do not have anything.
Brenda,
The only thing I have is the treasurer's reports in the packet. Have any questions?
remember when you do get treasurer's report, you can reach out to Brenda for questions ahead of time. And if you'd like it explained to the public, then at meeting, you can ask it again. Not hearing you, we'll move on. David,
Sandy had asked me to discuss with the board the requirements for bidding, in this instance, on a new SCADA system for the wastewater treatment plant. I think all of you know what the SCADA system is, but in case you don't, it's basically the computer network that maintains all the operations and everything of the plant. It is a very technical project, and it is in fact a public works project within the meaning of the statute. Given its highly technical nature, only very specialized consultants can do the work. And the question came generally as, can we just select a vendor of our choosing, assuming they meet the bid requirements that are being drawn up by Sandy, the engineering firm is McMahon?
Yes.
Okay. You have this other engineering firm, not Willett Hoffman, but this other engineering firm doing the bid specs for this. And assuming there's a vendor that meets all of the minimum, or all of the requirements, comes in as the low bid and all the rest, but even if they don't, and you want to go with even the highest bid, you always have the option on a 2/3 supermajority vote of the trustees, only the trustees voting, to award the contract to whoever you think best can provide the service being contracted for. That's really it. I'm available to take questions, but you can always waive competitive bidding. You can decide to do away with all the other bids you've received on a 2/3 vote to just award it to you, who you think is going to be the best contractor. And McMahon should be in a position to help you identify that person if that's the way you want to go, by giving you a very thorough report. And insofar as the person that they're recommending, the vendor that they're recommending, is not the low bidder, low responsible bidder, they can make the case as to why that party should still be the one chosen.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
If can we waive the bidding requirements before it goes out for bid, and then just send it to the select 3 that McMahon has recommended are qualified?
Well, if you're sending it to 3 vendors, you are going through a public bidding process. But when the time comes to open the bids, and you've got McMahon's spreadsheet that gives you the pros and cons of each of the vendors and how, while they may have all been responsive to the bid requirements and everything like that, but vendor B is the best choice because of these added things that they bring to the table. They've done a number of these of similar sized facilities around the state, whatever it is. On a 2/3 vote, you can just award the bid to that person if they're not the low bidder. If you're going to award it to the low bidder and you've already gone out to 3 vendors and you want to give it to the low responsible bidder, then you're fine.
So McMahon has narrowed it down to 3 companies that they feel are would be appropriate to be awarded the project. And so if it's not necessarily a bid for qualifications at that point, which is why I had asked if we could waive the bidding and just send it to these 3.
That's all we're required to have those 3, isn't it?
But you're really, yeah, that's right. And see, there's only a certain set of vendors in the state who can actually do SCADA systems. This isn't like putting down new sewer pipe or water pipe or whatever the rest. This is a very technical engagement.
Okay, so your recommendation is to still put it out for bid, but then let McMahon kind of guide us as to what they think the qualifications are, and then the board by a supermajority can not go with the lowest bidder and can go with the most qualified bidder.
That's right. That's right.
Just out of curiosity, did McMahon say these are only 3 people in the state that can do the work?
These are the 3 people that they feel are capable of doing the work that we're setting forth and are local enough that if work needed to be done, they can easily come back to do additional work or repairs or anything else.
I'm looking at the service after the sale, basically, so.
I understand that. That's not what I'm asking. I'm just wondering, if there's other people us that can still do it, but also
These are
there's,
the three that we've narrowed it down to that we have all worked with. We're very confident in their abilities. They have great service and they're relatively local. So that's one of the reasons why the three you see there are the three that were chosen.
Oh,
But
they
the
have-
question was
Oh,
whether or not
I know.
other people can do it. Yes, other people can do it.
yeah.
Yes,
It's just-
there are-
I just think that you should put it out, and this is just me, I just think we should put it out for bid and see.
Absolutely.
I
Let's
mean,
see where it
you can
falls.
always then decide to take one of the three people that they recommended if they're close to the bottom, or, you know, their most reasonable price, one of the people, you know, and then you see.
But what about not knowing about after the install? What about them? Because we have no history with them.
Well, you can use other people
Can
for that.
can you move
Unless-
forward into your mics, David?
I assume you could still use those to service if
Well,
you
I
need
understand,
to.
but-
But are you saying that because it'd be under warranty and it'd be inconvenient?
No, what I'm saying is this is like David was saying, this is very, very specific, very technical. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep whoever the integrator is will also be able to work on it. It's not this integrator is installing the system, but yet they're from Springfield. So I got to pull someone from Freeport to come down and try to figure out this system that was just installed by somebody else.
Well, that's,
So it's kind of-
but I'm saying, are you not using a universal system? I mean,
don't-
might not all three installers put in the same
Maybe, maybe
system?
not.
So what's happened in,
That's why we're
well,
what's
you-
happened in the past is that when we use Siemens, there was, and through the original build, there was proprietary programming that the village did not own. And I hope we're getting away from that. With this one is where we will actually own the program. So we can have anybody work on what we want.
Right, well, wouldn't it be,
I think I have the answer to yours. So the system may or may not be the same regardless of where it is, but the installation and where it is and where it's running and what's going on behind the scenes is going to be specific to our plant. So whoever installs it is going to know the who, what's, where, when's, and why of our plant, not just the system.
So if I have someone install this from a location that's quite a ways away and I have bugs in the system, which, you know, may or may not happen, I can't pull somebody else in to try to figure out the bugs from somebody else.
Well, we can, but we're going to pay them the
Well,
time to figure out our
I
system
understand, but that's
first.
why I'm
well, it
looking.
really
big picture.
depends.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
here's
Yeah.
my thought on it, sorry.
Go ahead, no, go ahead.
Is, you know, if you want a specific system, then put that in the bid requirements.
We are.
And if you want a certain response time, put that in the bid requirements.
That's a service, not a
that doesn't-
sale.
Well, so I
It's
think,
part of the warranty.
I think
I'm not
I,
talking about a warranty,
It's-
no, that's,
Yeah.
You're not saying that it'll be a warranty
I'm
system?
not saying anything about a warranty. I'm saying 2 years from now or.
5 years
whatever.
from now.
Yeah,
I
that's,
Let's see
still,
what we get before
Probably.
we.
I still agree with Chris. We need to send this out, let it be bid. Because then we can see, I mean, even though those three are the ones we may favor, let's see how they are competitively.
That they could be the lowest. Who knows?
Absolutely. So, I mean, we're speculating and we can do that all night.
All right, so David's recommendation and the board's is we'll just get it out for bid and then we'll see what happens and we can deal with that when we come to it.
I mean, these are kind of self-selection. This is the kind of self-selection process almost, because assuming McMahon's doing the type of detailed bid package that this requires, you're not going to get, one-offs. Anyone who's going to respond to it is going to be pretty qualified for it because it is so technical. So yeah, just see where it plays out. And if you ultimately decide that you want to go with the not necessarily low responsible bidder, but you want to go with someone who's more expensive or whatever, you can waive the competitive bidding at that point with the 2/3 vote of the trustees.
I just have one last question, David, which is, there are some requirements that may not apply to us in this situation about restricting bidders to in-state when the unemployment is so low. Is that based upon the time of bidding or the time of acceptance of the bid?
I believe it's at the time of bidding. I'll have to get back to you tomorrow on that.
Okay, and it may not apply because we're not using state funded to fund the project.
Okay.
But I know that there's some requirements because we talked about it with we talked about it with Willett Hoffman on the water tower project.
So-
The unemployment rate hadn't gotten so low that we were still clear.
With our recent involvement with the water tower project, it's probably good to have everything
Yeah.
figured out ahead of time.
Yeah, and that may remove some of the bidders automatically too from anybody out of state.
They were from Texas, right?
Tennessee.
Tennessee, but they were good, right?
Yeah.
All right, just checking.
Do you have any problems with the water tower people? Contractor? Yeah, but we,
Only person I had a problem with was a neighbor.
no, Illinois' unemployment rate didn't reach the required amount for us to look further into it until the following month, so we were fine.
Anything further, David?
No, that's it.
All right, then we'll move on to committees. Jen?
I have nothing.
William?
Nothing.
Jared?
Nothing.
Jen? I'm sorry, John? You
Um,
were there
Nate-
once.
Nate had, I believe, sent everybody stuff, or you had the option of all getting a jump drive and looking at the different engineering firms or the different submissions for that. He wanted to just remind everybody that it's kind of ticking down to where he's gonna, he's ultimately gonna make a recommendation of what he feels, and hopefully we'll take a look at what everybody thinks and go from there with questions, maybe next week at committee, if everybody, but by next week at committee, if everybody could have the opportunity to view those and bring any comments or questions.
I already sent him mine.
I know he had said he spoke to Chris. And we'll go from there.
Would you like it on the agenda for next week then?
Yeah, and if you could just, Nate will just zoom in or maybe attend, I don't know. But I do know we just want to keep moving this forward, so that's all I have this evening.
Chris?
Today I attended a webinar for ComEd's energy efficiency program for the ComEd Street Light Incentive Program. I forwarded the handout that they gave us from that to you. So if you could put that in the packet, I already sent the email. And we could talk about it next week. It's just, during the committee's meeting. Oh, you got anything else? Nope, that's it.
All right, you have anything for Dina?
No.
Well, I forgot one
I
thing.
thought he was looking at me.
No,
I forgot one.
Go ahead, Chris.
I don't think so.
Are we gonna get more snow?
Like
Yeah,
this year?
I thought
or-
so.
No, like
thought
in the near
Thursday.
future.
It's Northern
Yes.
Illinois.
Yes, we-
Well, all of December was pretty calm and then it all hit.
Yes, we got more chances this week.
All right, thanks. Something to look forward to.
Yes.
See, a little global warming wouldn't hurt. Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Sunday?
It's climate
Tuesday.
change.
Yeah, that's right.
They changed it.
Nothing from Dina. Anybody have any economic development? Moving on. Public?
I don't have anything tonight.
Anything further from any of the board members?
Nate did say he would be in attendance next week to answer any questions.
Okay. Anything further from anybody else?
Yeah, I just recommended if you did pick up one of the jump drives that you take a look at it. There were a lot of excellent companies.
There's a lot of good submissions.
It's a lot to read, but
Yes,
I
it
did
is.
see some pretty pictures.
yeah, no, there's,
There's some familiar names in there too, if you look at some of those from years ago.
all right, that's it.
Motion to adjourn.
Thanks.
John makes a motion to adjourn. Chris seconds. Roll call, please.
Chris,
Yes.
William,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Jared,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Dina's absent.
Good night, everyone.
All right, David, we're adjourned at 7:22.